podcast.
What are you, Scott Free?
Really? Is it on? Is that really what you guys do?
Sometimes we start in the middle of a sentence.
Love it.
I'll just start going.
Everything started. Yeah, the recording has started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
No.
Okay, we have a guest today, and it's a coworker of ours, but I brought you in for a very specific reason. Scott is not here, and I feel like this is a question that I cannot answer anymore, and I thought...
Oh, we're going straight into it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, besides
I
me
thought we were going to buffer it in a little bit. No, we're going straight to the point.
Besides me asking if she was nervous.
Oh, okay. Well, that was it. That was the small talk. You nervous? No? All right, on to business.
She did ask me, is this going to be video recorded?
Oh, yes.
I said,
always.
I didn't know if I had to look cute today or not.
I never do on these things.
You're Ally Payne, though. It doesn't matter what you look like.
See, she said
You're
I'm
already a
cute.
celebrity. This is my big break today. No.
I used to put the makeup on and do the whole thing, and now that is not happening.
Wake up too early to care.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I used to put my makeup on for
4:30 in the morning. Yeah, yeah,
no,
that's true.
I'm not doing it.
Ain't nobody in the building to impress. They're not even here.
No, right. I mean, I can impress you. Nah. Wendy. Nah. No, yeah, no. I'm not.
And you're already taken. You don't have to impress anybody else.
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
good.
Yeah.
You're set.
You know what's funny too? I think he prefers me without makeup sometimes. I think he's just
Or else you're a distraction.
Just be, yeah. Well, here's what he doesn't like. Because when I wear makeup, I wear a lot of makeup, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, it's like on my face," and because we get, we snoogle, canoodle and snuggle is what I was going to say.
Love that.
Snoogle. We snoogle together.
You snoogle together.
Yes, and then the foundation gets on his shirt, or I changed my lipstick recently. What?
Are you talking about Zach?
Yeah, I'm not snuggling.
You said Scott.
Oh my God, did I?
Yeah, she did.
I do this all
Oh my gosh,
the
that's hysterical.
time.
I was like,
I was like, what are you and Scott canoodling?
We did have our yearly hug right before Christmas.
That's right. He didn't give me one, the bastard.
I wanted you to record it because he is the worst hugger. He's like,
he's so awkward.
Love you, bye. I'm like, give me a squeeze. I need to feel loved. I don't know why. Did we hug? I thought we don't.
I think we did. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. I said bye. And
I think it was a quick hug too.
But it was a good hug.
Yes,
I'm a good hugger.
I need a good give me some 3-5 seconds or something.
Yeah.
I'm a hugger. I
gotta
hugged
hold.
Quinn for the first time today.
You did? Why did you hug?
I did because he was on vacation, and I feel like
Came back yesterday.
What?
I said I came back yesterday.
Yeah,
but he came back in the building today. You came back in the
Yes.
Yeah, so I've been with the company for over a year now, and me and Quinn's relationship has been developing.
What does that mean?
As besties,
Okay.
As besties.
I was like, we aren't on the same page here.
He's a tough cookie, though. So, to break his wall down and to become his friend is a big deal. So, anyway, he's on vacation for all this time, and he came back today, and I was like, hi, and I gave him a hug. And
Quinn, do you feel like it's similar to me? Like, in this room, I'm very warm, I'm very genuine. As soon as I leave the studio doors, not as warm and genuine. Is that how you treat them out there?
Like, ice cold.
Well,
don't talk to me?
She said that you're hard to warm up to. I feel differently.
I do too. I didn't know that I was that hard to warm up. That I had to be warmed up to.
Yeah.
Why?
Is that true?
What does he do?
What do I do?
I feel like when I first met Quinn, I couldn't tell if he liked me or not.
It's your dry sense of humor,
like
I think.
He has a dry sense of humor. I feel like
you don't like anyone.
I don't want to say you're shy because you're not shy at all, but you have a wall up.
I used to be shy. I used to be shy all the time.
So maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
I think the people have to go to Quinn to get him warmed up to you, if that makes sense.
I
don't put effort into it.
Correct. That's what it is.
Common theme in your life, Quinn.
Yeah. To be besties with Quinn, you got to kind of force yourself in there, kind of. I force myself to be his friend all the time. And now he's at the point where he just lets me in. I got to hug him and...
I agree with her.
Yeah.
You do keep us at arm's length.
Yes.
And you're always like, you don't know me. You don't know me.
He'll let you break in.
Do you know me?
I feel like I do, and then we'll talk about something on the show.
What's my favorite color?
Oh, green.
Damn it.
I knew that.
I was going to say blue.
See, she knows me better than you.
Yes.
I don't
Okay,
know
but
your
that's
favorite.
your favorite color. I know his favorite
all right.
animal. What's his favorite animal?
A liger.
A wolf.
A ligard. Okay, no.
ligard.
This is some fucked up shit. Because just because I look like Napoleon Dynamite doesn't mean that my favorite animal is Napoleon Dynamite. Okay, and I hate Napoleon Dynamite because I was called Napoleon Dynamite as a kid, and it was bullying.
Because you had that curly hair like that, like
No.
messy.
But his is way more intensely curly than mine.
Did you wear sweatpants really high up when you were a kid?
And 70s glasses? No.
Tight
I was
t-shirts?
gonna say you
No.
don't wear high-waisted pants.
No.
No,
never,
the kid
never wore them.
who always wore sweatpants in school was the kid that got bullied.
The only time I wore sweatpants in school was
But then you
college because
become
then
a
I didn't
man.
care.
I know. How
College
is
is
it?
the best because you just wear sweatpants to the class
Well,
and
I
nobody
feel like
cares.
you reach a certain age.
Yes.
And then we want the men in sweatpants, if you know what I'm
Oh
saying.
my gosh, sweatpants season is my favorite. The gray sweatpants.
Is sweatpants
Yes.
is sweatpants season the equivalent to yoga pants?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, God. Yes. Okay, so I feel also when we had our drinks that
Yeah.
that was another like breaking down a Quinn wall. That it does.
It only took a year and a half for you to actually get drinks with me.
Well, and I think that's what we should have did it. We should have had drinks sooner, so we could have broke down your wall sooner.
Yeah.
Because the night that we went and had drinks, then later that night, Quinn called me. We talked on the phone for a while. We usually don't talk on the phone
Oh,
after
yeah, he
work.
won't even answer your text messages. It
That's
doesn't
what I'm
matter how good of friends you become.
If I don't
with
have
Quinn,
to
he won't
answer,
text you.
if I don't have to answer right away or at all, I won't.
He won't.
Yeah.
And then we'll
Yeah.
even send him like videos, TikToks, whatever.
yeah, me too.
And nothing.
Yeah.
Never like a ha.
I will watch them. I just
Yeah,
don't
but-
respond.
Why?
Know that they are watched and appreciated.
Why? Again, effort.
Yeah.
And I say this not out of meanly, but okay, then let's talk about Quinn. Quinn is
This is going to be an episode where I just get absolutely wrecked by
shit
the two
on
of you, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
This is what Scott feels like. I'm just kidding.
Yes. So Quinn is changing something in his life, and he's going keto. You're going keto.
Yeah, going keto. Now I got to do it because I said it on
I
the
know
internet.
it's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
It is.
Hey, and what's today? Thursday?
Yeah.
I started last Friday. Was my first full day.
He did it before Christmas.
Oh, wow.
I just did it. I went to see my family in Florida, and I said, and my dad talked to me about it because he lost a lot of weight doing it.
Oh, yeah, you
So I
can
was
lose
like,
a lot
and I
of
see
weight.
it. I'm like, I don't even know who you are. So I'm
Wow.
like, I guess
Daddy?
if it worked for you, I'm gonna try it. And
do you and your
this is
dad-
the day I arrived on Wednesday. So then on Thursday, I said, okay, I'm gonna start because you can't have like carbs and stuff.
Yep.
I said, I'm in Florida. The one thing I have to have at least is one Cuban sandwich. Love Cuban sandwiches.
That's Zach's favorite.
So I said, I gotta have a Cuban sandwich. Ever since I saw the movie Chef with Jon Favreau, have you seen that movie?
No.
So good.
I do love Jon
Highly
Favreau,
recommend. It's
though.
on HBO Max, I believe. It's such a good movie, and it's the food. The food is so good that I'm like, you know what? I'm in Florida. I gotta have a Cuban sandwich, and then I'll do it. So halfway through Thursday for lunch last week, I had this timeline is not going to make sense for anybody listening, but halfway through Thursday, I had a Cuban sandwich, and then after that sandwich, went keto. So Friday was my first official full day. So I'm almost a week now.
He had a
So I've
keto
hit that
Christmas.
ketosis.
How do you feel? Do you feel anything?
Yeah.
I feel good.
already?
I've also been walking 2.5 miles with my dad every day that I was there. So I think I lost like 5 pounds when I was gone.
In a week, that's good.
In a
That's
week.
really good. Are you
But
going
it always
to
goes fast at the beginning. So I'm like waiting for the moment where I'm going to be disappointed.
plateau?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're on a keto diet, you're not going to plateau unless you stop the diet.
Well, yeah. I mean, also if you stop exercising.
So number one, are you going to continue to do the walking thing?
Yeah, I did it yesterday after my flight.
Good for you.
gotta keep
Before I
little
picked up
dog to walk.
Benji, I did a nice because there's a certain time where they have lunch where you can't pick up your dog.
Oh.
So I was like, well, I guess I'll go for a walk.
Nice. And then number two, I have an ex that did keto, and he did it years ago. He doesn't even look like himself. He's kept it up. I'm sure he has cheat meals or something, but
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Like, hopefully, I'm going to try and do it every 2 weeks.
a cheat meal?
But yeah,
Yes.
or maybe my dad even said like maybe even just like once, like one meal every Saturday. Be like, okay, I made it to Saturday
Yeah,
again.
that's
Yeah.
a good idea.
I think so.
I kind of want to do 2 weeks to be more impactful, but we'll see. How it
I
goes.
can't. imagine you looking any different. You'll really look like Napoleon Dynamite.
You know what I'll do? I'll show you, after the podcast, I'll show you a picture of what I look like when I was, like, before I moved to America. And you'll see how much skinnier I was.
I think you look fine.
No. I think I look fine too, but I think it's not just for
Melissa
the way.
thinks you look fine.
Yeah,
it's not the way that I look. That's kind of it for me. But also, I just feel like garbage all the time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You're gonna feel different. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's the thing I can't wait for, is to feel energized.
Now I don't care.
I'm always tired.
I don't care what people weigh. I had the same conversation with one of my girlfriends yesterday, my friend Sonia, and she was like, "Oh, I really felt good at such and such weight." I don't want to say, in case.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So she's like, "I really felt good at this weight," and I said, "We all have that. Like, we felt good at this weight. We might be a different weight." I have the same thing. There's a weight that I tend to feel good. Yeah. I don't feel 100% great right now because I have indulged in the holidays, but I know I'm going to get back on track, and I do feel different. But sometimes I feel real good too, eating a whole bag of potato chips.
Oh,
yeah. So I don't think that you.
But
should.
I was always feeling good eating potato chips, because I ate bad food all the time, and I'm hoping it also saved me some money because I go to fast food places too much.
You got to prep.
You know what I mean?
You got to prep.
So I got my little bento box prep meals. Ready to go. I just gotta start cooking tonight.
I can't wait to see what's going to happen, or how this is going to
Hopefully.
Is this going to be, maybe this will open Quinn up a little bit more. Maybe he'll tear down some walls with this. This is like new
No,
Quinn.
you got to come to me.
See, I
gotta make you work for it.
So I would love to try keto just to lose like a few pounds to reach a certain goal weight that I have in mind for myself. But my issue with keto is that I hear all the time that as soon as you stop it, you gain it all back.
That's what I hear too.
If you eat healthy, so I don't know if I want to.
I think you just have to not pause it too long. It's definitely not, keto is not, from what I understand, it's definitely not like a lifestyle. You shouldn't always eat like that. So like for me, it's going to be like I'll reach a certain goal, and then I'll be like, okay, I'll stop for a while.
Yeah.
And then, and I know I'll probably gain a couple of like pounds. Yeah. And then be like, okay, let's get back to it and see if I can make that goal even lower or get back to the original goal.
See, I'm cool with
like my dad. My dad right now, he was like, I saw him sneak a few chips over the holidays, so I was like, okay, he's not taking it too seriously right now.
Right.
But in general, he does try to avoid carbs like the plague.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Good for your dad.
I'm all for you doing it for like health benefits and stuff, but like I personally don't think you need to lose weight.
I don't think so either.
I don't know what the proper word is. I always try and say this, but I don't know how because I don't want it to come off offensive. But like, I like thicker men. Is that the right word?
Oh, me too, girl.
Like, I don't like skinny men. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like,
I think we've talked
to men look great, but I love thicker men.
Agreed. We've talked about this.
Isn't Zach the skinniest man you've been with? That's what you said?
Yeah, we've talked about this before because I always dated bigger guys. Yeah. I liked that. I like that, like big teddy bear. You know, hugging
like
Quinn. I was like, oh no, I'm just kidding.
I like him chunky.
But yeah, Zach he's very like when I met him. Oh my gosh, he might hate me for saying this. When I met him,
he won't know. He doesn't listen.
Right, that's true. He was one of those guys that had like the cuts in his.
Oh yeah, the cuts.
Yeah, he had like he's like because he's a hockey player. He's tall. He's thin. And so here I was not the heaviest that I was at the beginning of my relationship with Zach, but I was like, oh, okay. He's svelte and I'm not. But it all works out in the end. So it's fine. And we talked about this on the show, and I want to bring this up really quick onto the podcast because I think Melissa's a good person to bounce this off of. How the mommy pooch is hot. And I was saying how you're wearing a skirt and you know how you have those little lines that's like there's a pooch there?
Yes, yeah.
Here's my theory on this, because guys love touching stomachs. And when I first got with Zach, I'm like, stop touching my stomach. I hate it.
Yeah.
But then I think that guys do think the mommy pooch is hot for a subconscious reason. Number one, and we had a text on this today, and I don't think I read this on the air. My husband loves my mommy pooch because that's where, I grew his children. So that was the first one. And my subconscious one also was that, you just love like curves of a woman. It's almost like a maternal thing, but don't think of it like creepy. It's just Right. It's that you love a woman and what her body is capable of doing or what. So that's why I think guys actually are embracing more of the mommy pooch, which I think is awesome.
So you want my thought on it, though?
Yes.
I'm just going to be honest.
Please do.
So my honest thought on that is that I think men respect everything you just said, like how, we carry children, we this, that, and the other, and the maternal thing. I think they respect it because of that.
Yeah.
But I think that they are big fat liars when they say that they think it's hot. I think they respect it.
Yes.
I don't think they like it. Just like the same thing when men are like...
You're generalizing all men right now.
Yeah, because I think it depends on the man.
No. I don't mean to generalize all men, but I think a large percentage, and I also think a large percentage of men who say like, oh, I'd rather have a woman without makeup or who doesn't wear all the makeup. You're a freaking liar. Like, look at the pictures that you're liking on social media. Look at your girlfriends. Look at the girls you call hot. They all have makeup on.
Now, I think, okay, so as far as...
A lot of the times.
Right. As far as the respect versus what you like, I think that depends because my cousin Sandy is a little curvy and... She's like, oh my gosh, he loves my fat rolls. That's what she says to me. And I see him like grab at her.
Yeah.
So I think he's one of those guys that
literal love handles.
I think he loves that. Now, so that I think is guy dependent. As far as the makeup goes, I don't know. Sometimes
I think that's also guy dependent, but I do think
I think if I looked like how I do, if you're watching on YouTube, if I looked like this all the time, I don't think Zach would like this. I think he also, but I feel like
some people look insanely different. Like you look like a different human being.
I do. I think I look totally different with or without it. I think so. Especially because I've had people not recognize me when they've seen me without makeup. I think it's more common now because I'm more comfortable doing it. But like when I first moved here and I had makeup on all the time and then I would go into a store without it, they were like, is that her? Is that not her? Yeah, right. Yeah. But I think that Zach... If I was to guess, I've never asked him this, but I think he probably likes that I do both. It's whatever the event is, whatever we're doing. If we're going to go wine tasting, I'm sure he doesn't want it to look like I just walked out of Walmart.
Yes. Like I personally think that a large percentage of men like when women get dolled up for certain events, and occasions.
But when you're at home and you're being comfy, then be comfy. Yes. This is that's what it's meant for.
Yep.
Now, the real reason that I brought Melissa in here is because I've had this burning thing inside of me that I think that Melissa can answer it best. And it kind of started at our drinks that we were having for the morning show. Melissa was not there, but we had texted her while we were while we were together because this has just been eating at me. Are 20-some-year-old guys undateable? So Quinn and I texted Melissa and said, what is the oldest that you'll go? Both of you are on dating apps.
Yeah.
What's the oldest you'll go for dating? Because there was something in me that I thought, I bet you Melissa dates older. Now, I don't know because I just don't. Like, I don't know what's on your profile or anything
I
like
made
that.
a guess that was pretty dang close.
Yeah, you did.
Because I told you what you texted her. That was the number I told you.
What was the number?
We were one off.
Was it 59?
No, that was her actual answer. I said 60.
Oh, that's right. Are 20-some-year-old men undateable? And then I'll let Quinn answer.
Which I am 20. I'm in my 20s.
Okay.
So I'm just going to be brutally honest, but let me explain.
Okay.
In my opinion, I absolutely think men in their 20s are extremely undateable. Mm-hmm. But let me explain, because it's not necessarily all bad. So I feel like men in their 20s, and honestly women too, but men in their 20s, they just don't have their
shit
career
together
necessarily figured out. They don't have their shit together at all. They're just...
I just want to point out, literally 4 months ago, she was still in her 20s.
Okay, but I'm a woman. Like, men of all ages like women of all ages, for the most part. Women have that advantage.
No, keep going. I want to hear this.
So I think men in their 20s are undateable because they just don't have their shit together. And I don't want to come off as a gold digger because it's not about that, but like they don't got, their own houses yet. For the most part, they don't have, they might not own a vehicle yet. They're just so young. They're just so, there's that immaturity level that naturally comes with the age. So me being a woman, I like older men. I like men that have successful careers, or at least like, they don't have to be filthy rich. It has nothing to do with the money. It's it's almost the security.
Yep.
And the level of comfort being with an older man brings to you. They have their shit together.
Oh,
they're even mature.
Right, emotionally.
That's such a turn on.
I agree with that. Now, and Quinn, I will give you your chance.
Okay, let me say one thing though. This is not me saying anything negative about 20-year-olds. Like, for example, Quinn, like 10, 15 years from now, yeah, sure, hit me up. Like, you'll probably be at a great place. But right now at 27, honey, like, you figure out your stuff. Like, because here's the thing. Quinn has a great career. He owns his own vehicle. He's a catch. But he's still in the he's still in the figuring out stage. He's still growing in his career. So he's doing all the proper steps.
He hasn't hit the finish line yet.
I got daddy issues. I don't got mommy issues. So I don't need to be a part of his growth factor. Like, some women find that romantic to grow together.
I don't have either issues, by the way. I don't know if you're suggesting I have mommy issues. I do not.
I will say.
I'm saying, like, I don't want to be with a younger man and take care of him.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I need a man to take care of me. And here's the
Or be equals.
Women are hot messes. And
I don't think she means equals.
I don't think so either.
I think she means I want to be taken care of.
Yep.
Hey, there's ways that things would be equal, if you know what I mean. But I would make it fair. But yeah, I definitely need a zaddy or someone who's like, at a certain place in their life who, can satisfy me. And
Quinn, would you say that you are completely established and settled in your life?
No, but for a moment there, I definitely thought she was telling me that I don't have that I'm not successful job wise.
No, that's the thing is you're very successful.
I'll admit, I'm not like 100%. Like, I'd love to grow in my career still. Right. Don't get me wrong. But for a second, because you said you generalized 20-year-olds, but then gave me like a separate.
I think,
thing.
think about it, though. There are 20-year-old men who are going to school for their doctorate degrees right now.
We also have to remember
they're still growing, though.
You don't even get a full-time job until halfway through your 20s.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's
what she's saying.
So
it's just,
different.
Hey, we can have fun. And I had a lot of fun in my 20s here. I met somebody in my 20s thinking, oh my gosh, I think this might be the person that I marry. It's not the person I married, and that's totally fine because now I've ended up in a different spot. But looking at it, after him, I had a lot of fun.
Yep.
That's great. I'm here to have fun in my 20s.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think that maybe once you get to that turning point of, okay, my fun is kind of, not over, but my fun is the little different fun. It's fun, but established. Yes. Like, I want to go to Sam's Club on Saturday and clean the house, but I can still have a glass of wine or whatever you consider to be fun.
Yeah, because, like, there's nothing wrong with men in their 20s because, they're going to college. They're growing in their career. Like, think about how far you're going to be in your career, Quinn, like 10, 15 years from now. Like...
But, okay, you're going to have to define dateable then. Because do you mean like ending up with the person you're ending up with for the rest of your life? Because that's what, like, because
he's offended.
Well, no,
I knew he would be.
I'm not offended. I'm just confused because how do I put it? Everything you're talking about is like long term. This is the final person we're going to meet. What does dateable mean? Is this like, are we casually dating? Is this like, okay, yeah, we may have been serious for a year and now maybe I'll move on to.
You're right. So I guess
break up with someone else. Like so
that, though,
you're looking for your final partner.
I'm not into casual dating.
So people,
I'd go out on dates and hang out, but I wouldn't like have a boyfriend that I knew I wouldn't want to be with long term.
So men in their 20s, you would not end up with someone. Let's say you were also in your 20s.
Sure.
But whoever you dated in your 20s, there's no way you would have ended up with them for the rest of your life. That's what you're saying.
Probably not.
Men in their 20s are not.
So
like when you date them and they're in their 20s, that is not the person or time that you would be like, okay, you're the person to meet for the final. That's what it sounds like you mean.
I care enough about people to where I wouldn't even give them the time of day. So, like, for example, say, I know this wouldn't happen a million years, but, like, say you were interested in me and say I'm attracted to you, I like you, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't date you or give you the time of day that wise because I wouldn't want to lead you on because I'm more interested in men in their, like, mid-30s and...
But why are you interested in me then?
Because you're cute.
But you're just projecting your thanks.
You're funny.
You're just projecting your own feelings.
What?
You said I was interested in you, but you were also interested in me.
Yeah.
But then you were like, but I'm not going to give you the time of day.
Correct.
She's DTF, but you're not.
But go fuck yourself.
And that's the thing too, because I
just seems really.
I just wouldn't want to lead you. Like I would be so like.
Your opinion just seems super you.
No, I get it. I totally get it.
It is super me.
I'm with you, and I know that this sounds offensive, but
it does sound offensive. That's why I'm trying to give props to like you are successful right now. There are men in their 20s getting doctorate degrees, or you know, going to college to be lawyers, or maybe would you go to school for videography, or I just don't know the term.
Filmmaking,
like that stuff is awesome and it's great, and you guys have a successful life ahead of you. Like men in their 20s have successful lives ahead of them, but I don't want to date you while you're figuring out who you are.
Right, while you got the training wheels on.
Yes. Yes, like I want a man who is established in his career, who knows who he is, who is, you know, just at this stable point of life. And I think for women specifically, not all women, but like I feel like any single woman you meet, like we have some sort of mental illness going on in our head, whether it's anxiety, depression, bipolar, like we are a hormonal mess. And I love the feeling of just the idea of a stable man, which just happens to always, you know, not always, but normally they're in their, honestly, their 40s.
I think that, you know, I've never been a super casual dater. Now, did I have some fun in my 20s? I did, but mainly everything that I had was more long term. Even though in the back of my mind I knew I don't want to marry this person. And I think now that I've gotten to a point where I'm with somebody who I respect, I also, and I even joked with him the other day because we were talking about hooking up another friend of ours. And our friend had said, well, she's got to have this, and a good credit score. I said, preach. I can appreciate that because I've already built myself up to this point. Now that's where I'm at in my life. I have built myself up to this point. I'm not trying to date somebody with a terrible credit score.
Yes.
And I joked, I said, Zach, that's why I'm with you because you're a top dog where you work. And he goes, oh, that's it? No, that's not it. But that really helps. So I feel like you're very mature, actually.
I am.
And I think it's mature. I do.
I just love that. Oh, I am. I'm very mature.
As hell, but I've always...
Just wait till you see her in the workplace. She's very mature.
Oh, yeah.
People always think
she just
older.
Before the podcast, she said she was an HR nightmare.
I get that because I can be too. But I know I want to have a lot of fun, but I also know bottom line because I've dated some shitbags who one guy lost his job at one point while we were dating, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to get one right away." I'm like, "What?" Yeah.
But let me ask you this.
And then I was carrying him. I'm not carrying you. I'm not your mommy.
That's the thing. Exactly.
And it's you guys are too close to, you know, walking out of the womb.
Exactly. So like, okay, I'm not much older. I just turned 30, but
yeah.
I'm a woman.
Let me ask you this.
They're called credit cards.
And it's not coming from my bank account.
Yeah, exactly.
No, let me ask you this, because all this sounds long term as opposed to short term.
Yep.
So in your 20s, would you have dated someone in their 20s and known like, well, this is obviously not going to be, but
I just want to have fun.
Like I'm just in it for the fun times.
Yeah.
I guess if I was like Quinn, I'm sorry, I'm just going to keep using you as an example. Say I'm in my say I'm 24 and you're 25, whatever, and you know if you wanted to like wine and dine me and I could
69 me.
Women know when men are interested. Let's be real. Like we know.
Yeah. You guys are blind to it.
Yes. I would be straight up with you.
Don't hold it.
I would be straight up with you.
Pause this fucking conversation. The reason we're blind to it is because we have to go through a goddamn, like, you have to answer these questions 3 fucking voodoo bullshit to figure out what the fuck you're talking
That's
about.
not true.
That's absolutely true.
I watched women fall over Scott, believe it or not, and he had no clue.
Scott doesn't know what anything's happening.
Yeah, he had no clue that somebody was flirting with him.
Yeah.
Or I've seen somebody flirt with
You
my
guys speak in code too much.
I've seen somebody flirt with my significant other in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
No. There are times when women expect you
And
to
he's like,
know
"Do-do-do."
what you mean, and we're like, just say it straight out. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I wish
Anyway,
more women
let's go
would
back.
say, I just want to have fun, or I want this to be
Well,
long term.
that's what I was going to
Yeah.
say. Like, I would flat out be like, listen, I'm all for dinner, hanging out, but, I'm not really looking for anything. Now, at the same time, though, I'm also
You should
the
do that
kind of
after the
person-
fun.
Well, I'm also
And then
the
it's like,
kind of-
okay, like that kind of
Well, see,
ruins.
that's
That's
the
like
thing is,
you're breaking the lead up a bit there. It's
Yeah, but
like,
see, that's the thing is that.
Wah, wah.
See, that's why I don't even want to bother. It's because I
That's
can't
right.
tell him.
No, but then you
before,
don't get the fun
and
either.
then if I tell him after,
But then you don't get the
I'm
fun
also
either.
not into hookups.
Yeah, and you also
I'm not
said
into one night stands. I wouldn't be for that.
same.
well, you
And
don't have to. You don't have to be. That doesn't have to be a one night stand.
You just said you just said you want the honesty and all that, but she's right. If I give you the honesty, then it's
Now you're complaining.
Well, I'm talking not just I'm talking from both of our point of views. If you're on a date and you're genuinely interested in this person, but you do feel like I know already that I'm not going to be with this person long term, but I can have some fun with this person, you could still wait till after. You can
happens?
still wait till after the first date, not
See,
like
but
right at the
that's why I
beginning.
don't
Let
even
me
bother.
establish myself
But
real
that's
quick.
why I won't even bother with it. What's the point?
Why?
right, because then
Would
we're
you want-
wasting.
would you want to have some fun for a week with some hot girl and then bye, Felicia?
Sure.
No, you're gonna
No,
be
you
like,
wouldn't.
what happened? And
Yeah.
here's the other thing. This is where it's a slippery slope too, and why men in their 20s are undateable, because all of a sudden he's the fun guy, but then you like catch feelings. I caught feelings for the guy who's trying to figure out his job because he's working down at the gas station, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fine if you work at the gas station,
Yeah.
but like there is something certain specific that I'm looking for.
Exactly. That's the thing is like my type is, a specific type. So like I'm not on dating apps right now because I don't know, they're weird.
But everything you're saying, being upfront and everything like that, those are things that dating apps are already doing. You know what I mean?
It's hard though, but
when I was on dating apps, so I flat out wrote long term, interested in long term.
Yeah.
Which is now even
But-
just an option to like select like what are you interested in.
But
I'm just not
everybody,
interested in casual dating.
Right.
I mean, wine and dine with a cute guy and he just happens to be in his 20s and stuff, sure. But at that point, I just feel like I'm leading them on because, like,
right? They're not ready.
yeah.
They haven't got their butterfly wings.
I just want a man.
You're still in the cocoon.
Who's established, who, and I'm interested in a certain kind of appearance too. I think men get better looking with age. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, for example, Quinn, you're freaking adorable. Like, trust me, you're
in
adorable.
like a little brother kind of way.
Yeah, I like, the
I wasn't
silver
taking that as you're hitting on me.
Or, some grays popping through. Like, that's sexy.
right,
But like I said, I also have some daddy issues, so we won't get into that today, though. That's a whole nother story.
I love a silver fox, but I do appreciate that because looking at Melissa, and if you're watching on YouTube, then you can see what she looks like. There might be something about her that is not appealing to you and you don't like. And I remember this conversation happening in the office. Melissa specifically asked Quinn, why wouldn't you date me? What's wrong with me? And
Hold on, I didn't say anything was wrong with her.
awesome.
Let me
How
just
did you word it?
explain.
How did you word it, Melissa?
So actually, the only reason why Quinn wouldn't...
You only asked, would you date me hypothetically? Is what you
Hypothetically.
said.
and you
Hypothetically.
said, all right, we're going to go around the room.
And that's the only way we did it.
you,
That's the only
So-
conversation we had.
So because of who Quinn is, I thought maybe it was because I was too loud or maybe I'm too flirtatious because I am kind of a provocative woman. Can't help it. HR nightmare right here. And you don't want to hear what we were talking about with popsicles before we
Oh my
started
God.
the podcast.
Oh my God.
But anyway, so I'm like, what is it? What is it? And
what happens in this room stays in this room.
Quinn just kept me guessing because he likes to tease people, and
it is fun to watch people squirm.
Yeah. So, but it turns out the only reason why he wouldn't hypothetically date me is because we work together, which I think is fair.
That's it.
Coworkers.
That's it.
That's it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, and you wouldn't date Quinn for all of those reasons.
This whole podcast.
Honestly, I don't even care that we work together. That wouldn't stop me.
Right.
It's his age. Like, if he was
an immaturity.
10, 15 years older. It's the natural immaturity, though. Quinn is very established and mature for his age.
Is it like age is the definite thing, or are there outliers? Because there are very successful 20-year-olds that are established, have money, and all this stuff.
It's the immaturity that comes, even for me, for example. So, like, for example, a lot of people thought I was older because of my maturity, but at the same time, I always had...
I thought you were younger than me.
The 20-year-old immaturity that came with my age, no matter how much I tried to work on myself, no matter how much I would purposely work on certain skills and mindsets and
there's nothing wrong with being
No, there's nothing wrong with it at all. But if I'm going to be in a long-term relationship, I want a man. I want a zaddy, you know?
Yes. That's where...
Zaddies.
I think there is a sector of women who say men in their 20s are undateable.
Well, it's been actually scientifically proven. Well, I don't think it was a science thing. I think it was a group study. But men, they said, out of this study that they did, you guys can Google it because it's pretty much everywhere on the internet. But men technically don't fully mature until their 40s.
I believe it.
And not all men, but it...
And a lot of it is experiences,
women
too.
mature faster, too.
Right. It's experiences. Interestingly enough, though, especially if you date your two people in your 20s, you suffer some heartaches together, and that's how you do grow, is all of those,
sometimes again,
trial subscriptions.
Yes, trial and error.
Yes.
And sometimes, though, that leads to you guys growing apart as you age as well, because... Here's the thing, too. Like, Quinn might be interested in filmmaking and all that he's doing now. But what if he might have a change of heart 10 years from now.
Right.
Of what he wants to do. Or, I mean, I feel like you're pretty set with what you're doing because you're so talented at it. But
Stop.
But I feel like there's a lot of growth that men and women have to go through. And I just, the thing is, too, like, another reason why I'm very opinionated on this, even though a lot of women probably feel the same way as me, but I also had, and we won't go into detail about it, but, I had a traumatic childhood, and I pretty much raised myself, and I got all sorts of issues. So, like, having the comfort of... And here's the thing, too. When I say successful, I don't mean he has a buttload of money. I mean, would that be nice? Yes. But that's not what I mean. I mean, like... He has a consistent income. Because here's the thing, too, is that I'm also willing to hustle. I'm also willing to work hard and make my own money and pay for my own things. But having that almost like a financial security and a...
somebody who's actually just on the same mind track as you.
A driven mindset.
Yes.
And
Zach and I have that. Right. That's what I feel like Zach and I have. Like, when we were going to buy a house... I said to him, I need you to tell me all of these things. You have to tell me what's in your savings account. You have to, things that we never really talked about. I knew he had, a savings. I knew about what he made, but I'm like, I need to know everything. So when that conversation came up, because we live financially separate, when that came up, I was like, oh, he does have a savings, which is nice. Like, I'm glad. Like, he has a savings.
Yeah.
So that is all things I'm extremely grateful for. I do want to mention this one last thing that you had brought up, and it is so applicable, and I think that we could chew on it later. There is a book that I read called How We Love, and it basically talks about what you're saying is there's things in our childhood that happen that create who we are later on in life. It might be a pivotal moment, or it might be how a parent treated us. It's usually a parental child interaction. So say there is, and there's different categories of who we are. Are we people pleasers? Are we avoiders? And why is that? So like, I'm a people pleaser, and I can tell you why I am. You might be an avoider. You might be, so you're right. There was you raising yourself. So that's why you are, fill in the blank, whatever the category of the thing is. And that I think makes sense. And that's why you're attracted to somebody who you're like, my mom used to always say this too, because my mom grew up in a family of 12 where there was some trauma, whether it was alcoholism, abuse, things like that my mom's like, I want to give you the childhood that I never had. I want to give you everything, which also can totally bite you in the butt too in certain ways. But what I'm saying is, I think that you are proactively making a choice and saying, I want a certain lifestyle. Yep. I didn't have one. Yes. Now I want this one.
And I have the ability to create it. And
love your hustle.
And here's the thing, too, is like, I want to love the man I'm with. I'm not just like, oh, you're 40 years old and you own a home and, you got your own car. Like, okay, yeah, let's be together. Like, I actually have to, be interested in you and have feelings for you because... Here's the thing, like, since I've been single, obviously I have men interested.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And some of them have quite a bit of money, and but I'm not interested in them.
Right.
And so I'm just not... I guess I'm just trying to defend myself because I don't want to offend other people.
Quinn, we'll see you in 15 years. No, I'm
I'll be long gone. Missed opportunity.
And that's what it is. That's what we call the white buffalo.
That's right.
The one that got away. I have a friend who he always talks about.
Great white buffalo.
The great white buffalo. And it's so funny because I know both of them very well, and they sometimes have to see each other in certain social situations. So I'll just pass them at a barbecue. There's the great white buffalo.
Hysterical.
Yes, this was a great episode. I loved this. I really did.
Was fun.
This was exactly what I mean, not everyone might feel the same way you do.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, I was just told I was undateable, but that's fine.
You are not
but you're so cute.
You are so cute.
Thanks.
I feel like, for example, there's a girl here who works with us who, is younger. She's in her early 20s, and she thinks dating 30 is too old for her. So, everybody has their own, opinions and interests.
She's just cutting her teeth on dating.
Yeah.
She'll figure it out.